Oh no, I'll never forget the first time I met Shia. How did you first connect with Shia?
What was your first time?
Well, I'm gonna get to that. It's part of my next question, but I want to hear about your first time. And we did about a 20-minute interview, 25 minutes or so. You went off and shot some scene running from Optimus or something. And then you came back and said, I want to do the interview again. Let's do another 20 minutes. So how do you wrestle with that? How do you know that we got it, we can move on when this is your life up on the screen?
I defer to Alma there. She ran the set, really.
You make it sound so easy, but
we had 19 days.
You just say, I'll talk to Alma.
Well, yeah, you had 19 days of filming. We had more time to prep than we did to film, and you need a boss on set. You need a captain, otherwise everyone's fucking boat's just going nowhere. So she was the rudder, and when she felt like we had it, we'd move. She's quite decisive.
To raise awareness about an issue or a cause. It was a healing process for you to move forward in your own life. So then walk me through this part of it. Sharing it with a room full of strangers and a room full of loved ones and a room full of friends. I see you saying hi to people in the hallways, and this is the next step of that process. So walk me through how you're handling that.
I don't know if you've ever stood up naked in front of people on a table and turned around really slow. It feels like that.
Real slow? Wow.
Real slow.
How does it feel?
Exactly. I guess look, this is a historic place. This is such a fucking honor. I'm so grateful there's people here. When me and Alma came in, it's me and Alma aren't really like cheese balls fully, but we got cheese balls in us, and we sat there and we're just kind of like, whoa, just the fact that we're in the dome and that it's full is such a...
I want to thank every person here.
Yeah, man. I got shushed in this theater. I got shushed. Little bit, man, fuck. Okay, it goes up. That's neat. Next question.
Shai, you obviously did a wonderful job in this film of working with Alma to surround yourself with people to uplift you, to inspire you, to challenge you. Walk me through some of the other faces that we see pop up, and Martin Starr is perfectly cast in this. Walk me through how you assembled the team, both of you.
Yeah, that's another Alma question. I was only involved in dealing with Noah. Lucas, she told me about. She said, I found him, and then explained to me why. Lucas and me share gratitude for the craft, and hold that above pretty much everything, almost to dangerous levels. He's a bit more balanced, but I was involved in the Noah casting, and then everything else is Alma.
Great relationship or a bad relationship or didn't know them, it's just an incredible exercise on some level.
It's a form of therapy that is available to people, by the way, and it's called psychodrama.
Matter of fact, when you go home, take out your phone, act like your parent.
Will, take away from it?
I'm pretty simple. I just hope that it moves you.
And on that, once again, give it up for Byron, Alma, and Shia. The movie is Honey Boy. Thank you for your courage and your bravery.
Yeah!
You guys.
Thank y'all, man.
So I just went to see this film, Honey Boy. I just heard about it the other day. Heard this human named Shy was gonna be in it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to see that. And I just got this role in this film, and I shoot my first day tomorrow, so I was like, wow, what an amazing night before to light me up with inspiration. And then after, the film was amazing. And then afterwards, this man Shy was there and did this Q&A. It was simple, nothing too much, but I just want to share a little bit about who he is to me. And it's funny too, because this is Monday, November 4th, and yesterday I was with a brother named Kanye at the forum, and I tweeted a minute ago that I feel like I'm Kanye meets Shia. That's who Rocco feels like to me. Shia changed my life with an interview in 2009. I remember seeing him doing this interview, and he was just so, it felt like he was so honest. It felt like he was so authentic about what was really going on in an interview, which is a place where people are usually presentational. And I was like, man, if he could do that, I feel like I could do that. And then I started acting. In 2010, I booked my first gig in this Disney movie called Prom. And then in 2015, I'm driving on Beverly Boulevard and I see this line of people. I'm like, what is going on at Beverly Boulevard? I Google art exhibit Beverly Boulevard. It says, I am sorry, Shia LaBeouf. I cancel my next 2 meetings and I go to that line and I stand in that line. And I saw him sitting in this room with a paper bag over his head. Day 1, I went back the next morning. Day 2, and I went back the next morning. Day 3. 3 days in a row, I went to I Am Sorry.
Say he was emotional and crying the entire time.
He was emotionally pouring out the whole time. Yeah,
Non-stop.
nonstop.
Did he take off the bag for you?
No.
He changed how I hug people. That's probably the biggest takeaway. He literally changed how I hugged human beings. Men in particular, but definitely women as well. But men really specifically, because there was this like fear of being loving to men, like fear of being gay or fear of being weird or fear of weirding out another man, but like really wrapping your arms around somebody and squeezing them and breathing with them. This movie Honey Boy is so profound. He's taken his life and he's sharing with you his story. And I mean, like, what's up, Instagram? What is this fucking thing for? What do you do with this thing? What are you sharing? What are you following? What are we all doing on here? I've been shown through yoga that we all have Christ within us, and it's really about what we do with it that matters. And that through time creates who we are and how we be. Oh, hello. Well, hello, Pop. I was like, somebody's burning very fast. Hey. In 2010, I was shown the path of a human named Manly P. Hall. And this idea for the first time in this incarnation as Rocco was presented to me, the path and concept of alchemy. To take what is and, in a long story short, improve it through a process that requires heat. And heat usually translating into the human experience as intensity. And then I started making music and acting and writing. And then I'd be in acting class and I'd have real shit going on with my mom and my dad or like a girl or friends, and I'd write about it. And then I'd do it in class. I'd look for the stuff that was most difficult, that was most trying, that was most strenuous, that strained me. Because it felt like it was inextricably connected to my growth and my expansion, which felt inextricably connected to my experience of my own bliss, because that felt inextricably connected to my capacity, and my expansion connected to my capacity, connected to my bliss, connected to my experience of joy and fulfillment, ultimately. And so Shai is out here doing that. He's sharing his firsthand account, his firsthand experience with real life. He's in this movie playing his dad, interacting with a version of himself, and it's profound. Because it deals with trauma, and it deals with how we cycle trauma to who we're nearby when we don't deal with it ourselves. And so everyone who watches that receives the gift and the lesson and the blessing of the work of the person who already learned the lesson. Long story short, what are you doing with what you got?
My phone ran out of space to finish recording, and then I fell asleep. But the point is,
what are you doing with what you got?
we only have what we're given, and that's our life and our experience of life. Not everybody's called to share it, but you can alchemize it in some way, whether that's painting or writing or body movement or, you know, body work and assisting other people in alchemizing their experience. Whatever it is, how are you gonna alchemize it? How are you gonna transform it? I love one of the things that I heard Shai say in a recent interview, and he was just like, don't waste your pain, because it's good paint. That's all. So what are you gonna do with your paint? What are you gonna paint with that paint? Vibes.